John, what is this?
I was confused there for a moment. I thought I'd fallen into an alternate dimension. Or something.
Think I still haven't recovered. Hey!
From a code 3 direct pursuit to a code 347. Completely lost due to incompetence.
Delicious again, Peter.
With Jon Hopwood.
Oh, what's going on?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ward 13. Peter White here today.
With Jon Hopwood.
We have a saboteur.
Yeah, it's like a time warp or something. What
What's
happened?
going on today? Is there something special?
No, you asked me to come on the show.
And pray tell, why did I ask to have... Well, this is Jon Hopwood, and this is Ward 13. We have entered some type of wormhole.
Yes.
And, to hide my gut, which after all the free food of the primary, I have to drop this chair. But now, Matt, you look like 7 feet tall. So I'm going to have to bring it up again. But, Matt, why don't you take over and interview Peter while
I could actually lower my chair a little. Oh, there you go.
There
you go. All right.
Oh, jeez. Look at with the dark, the contrast.
I was going to say.
You can't even see what it... I think the best part of the New Hampshire primary, if you know how to do it, and we know Ed Sapienza knows how to do it, is getting free food.
Yeah?
Getting the free booze. That's a lot harder in 2016.
Oh, no, that's easy.
How does Ed Sapienza do it?
He uses the worst fake press pass in existence.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bill Barry and I, there was a National Review party to view the last Republican debate, and Bill Barry and I were there. We're at the Radisson, which is like, New Hampshire Primary Center.
Yeah.
And Bill sees that they're having free food.
Yeah.
So he tells Eddie, look. So he's not on the list or anything.
Yeah.
And he takes out the worst free, fake press pass in existence.
Yeah.
And he snuck in there.
Yeah.
And I understand he also paid Bill Barry back for this generously bird dogging him and getting him in for the free food.
Yeah.
Bill Barry was supposed to be on the Manchester Public Radio first broadcast ever.
Well, no, it's the first, not the first broadcast ever because they're already doing nonprofits at WMNH.
No, but I mean...
it's the first remote live broadcast.
Okay. And Bill Barry, and it was was scheduled. Eddie Sapienza snuck in this time because everything was scheduled by the people. Was it Talk Media News?
Yes.
They did the scheduling, and it was. Why don't you, Peter White, tell us number one? You're really here for one reason.
I'm going to tell you.
And one reason only. Let's go before the primary.
Yeah.
What's so special about Manchesterdam tonight?
Oh, geez, tonight's show at 10 o'clock.
Forgot.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
That's the primary, right? That's
Yes, yes.
Well,
Everyone's
what it is,
fuzzy-headed.
I thought you were going towards the broadcast we did for the primary, but
I'm a liberal Democrat. You can't trust me.
that's fine. Tonight on Manchesterdam is a very, very special show. If you watch the show, everybody's invited. We're actually we're hoping to have a live studio audience. Don Tibbetts is leaving the show. He's been
unbelievable.
on. He's been on for over 2 years. Got about 120 episodes under his belt. It's gonna be tough to see him go.
He's F-bombed more on Manchester Public TV than anybody. A record that will never be surpassed.
Yeah.
Because we were waiting for Vermin Supreme, and I had a special necktie for him, but I'm not going to be able to give it to him.
It's a little saucy.
It's a little risque.
Yes.
I'll tell you, it is bittersweet to part ways as far as the show goes.
He's a legend.
Well, not
His
only that.
father was too.
Really? Not only that is what happens is, let me tell you this, with Tibbetts, he was my gym teacher. He's my phys ed teacher. He
Central High.
Manchester Central High School back in the 1980s.
And these people, like, if the what happened? It's like the USSR or Russia now, or the United States. If you went to Central High, you're like a Russian or American. There's only Central High.
Yeah.
Well, we can get into that another time.
There's no fights over naming tracks over at West High or Memorial.
Yeah.
No, but we can get into
fields.
the central debate another time. But
I'm West High.
Oh, okay.
that's
were our mortal
that's too
enemies.
that's too bad.
USSR.
You guys should
Go on.
rumble like West Side Story or something.
I think we have. Well, that was Rich Gerard.
Oh, okay.
Well, with Tibbetts leaving the show, it's bittersweet. It really is. Like I said, he was my phys ed teacher, freshman and sophomore year at Manchester Central. I'm going to say that's 1984, 85, right around there. So you bump into him over the years. He's like I said, he's part of Manchester. He's part of the fabric of the city.
Is the time that he was your gym teacher the bitter part? Is there something that you're
No, and I'll tell you.
I'd say hypnotherapist.
You want to?
That's true. I can help you.
I will tell you. Tibbetts was a great teacher, and I'm going to tell you the one reason
he's
why.
beloved.
I'm going to.
He really is.
Yeah.
Not because he's cool and he's crazy and he wears Converse. It's because he made every kid. You're 14, 15 years old. You're an awkward kid. It's an awkward time for a male or a female growing up. To come to class, change out of your regular clothes, get into gym clothes, and even if you were not that great at sports or you didn't like phys ed, this guy would make you feel like a superstar. This guy, he made you feel like a superstar. He was he gave everybody a nickname. My nickname was Dirty White Boy. That's what he used to call me.
Why did he call you Dirty White Boy?
Just everyone had a nickname. He gave everyone a little nickname. So, I don't know. We'll see. You'll see him tonight. He'll give you a nickname. I don't know if you want it, but.
I think and when we were at the Pine, he did give me a few nicknames over the last 2 years.
But it really is. It's.
Is that the school? Did Adam Sandler go to, which high school did he go to?
He went to Manchester Central.
Did Tibbetts have him for a student?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, I don't know if you know this story, but a couple of years
Matt's
ago.
not from Manchester originally.
Right.
Well, a couple of years ago, Grown Ups 2 came out, the movie with Adam Sandler and
Kevin Hart.
No,
the guy the chunky guy.
Oh,
that
Kevin,
Heidi Hamers has a crush on him. He was
what's his name?
The mall cop.
Yeah.
on the Segway.
Kevin something. Yeah, I can't remember his last
Okay,
name.
The
well,
guy
so
that was in the UPS. You should know this guy. You were a UPS.
I know I have it on the tip of my tongue. I'm sorry, John Eric. Do you know what's his name?
John Eric.
I don't know if you know.
I
It's
think
Kevin.
John Eric's been canned after that.
No, he's fine.
Who was Paul whatever mall cop, and he was the UPS driver, the king of Queens.
I can find out on my phone.
Okay, so anyway, so Matt, to answer your question,
I got this. I got. The
he did go to
Chris
school with
Herbert
Adam.
thing.
He did go to school with Adam Sandler. When
yeah.
Katie Couric had her TV show,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler was there with the cast of Grown Ups 2 and Katie's producers, Kevin
Who is
James.
it?
Kevin James. And Katie's producers,
The legendary Kevin James.
Yes.
Katie's producers, what they did was they surprised each member of the cast of Grown Ups. Oh, really? And so Kevin James had some famous wrestler, I forget his name, but then all of a sudden Katie's like, "Hey Adam, we got a surprise for you too." And T stands up out of the audience with a whistle, foul. Like with a whistle, and Adam Sandler was like, "Tibbetts." So
Wow.
Tibbetts got to go on stage with Adam Sandler on the Katie Couric show.
Wow.
It was fantastic. With Selma Hayek was
Yeah.
there playing with T's mustache.
Yeah.
T is the only one of.
Jesus, that would have they would have to bleep me.
He was the only one.
Got away.
Yeah.
He was the only one to get 2 segments on Katie's show.
Wow.
And it was great because he got to sit down with him. He brought Adam Sandler a Central High School basketball jersey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hung out with him for a little while, but I mean, he's seen him over the years. When Adam was on Saturday Night Live, T got invited backstage,
wow.
all that stuff, and that was we're going back a few years.
Now Sandler always had a good relationship with Manchester. He gave $2 million to the Boys Club.
He does, yeah. He's definitely as far as the city,
City boosters. He has family here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so Tibbetts was on there.
Is
You had
there
him,
a chance he might be on tonight? A special guest?
Oh, geez, the funny thing
Are we
is we've been
waiting
trying
for
to get
Sandler?
Adam Sandler. I think we even kind of convinced ourselves that he was going to come in a Wednesday before Thanksgiving a couple years ago.
Really?
And
I
all
remember that
all
day.
this hype started happening, and it didn't happen.
I was down at the Pint.
I
We
don't
were
know
waiting.
him. I don't know Adam personally.
This is the screenplay me and Peter have. How many pages we got so far? We only have the title, Waiting for Adam Sandler.
Oh, yes.
Well, they're already it's already there's a young filmmaker.
Somebody's already
Yeah, it's
got our
called
title.
Finding Sandler.
Oh, no kidding.
Something like you can look it up. I
You
think
see it? That's Hollywood. We come up with a good idea and somebody snatches it.
I think it's a local
true.
kid. I don't know the name, but I don't know Adam Sandler. He moved on.
How old? Much older? Or
Well,
what
when I
age?
went into my freshman year in high school, he had just graduated in June and went off to
was
New
he
York.
a big man on campus? Was he known?
Well, I wasn't. I didn't go to
Class
school
clown?
with them. Like I said, I started in September, my freshman year. He had just got out of high school that June.
You know who the most distinguished person to graduate in my class was, don't you?
The Revlons, the Revson.
Jesus, that goes back to my grandparents.
Oh, I know who it is. Keith Hirschman.
Yes, Keith Hirschman. Keith Hirschman. And we're going to end the conversation right there because,
All right.
Keith's touchy about things.
Keith's
and
fine.
he lies to you about me. The only part he got right is I had the long blonde hair.
Yeah,
Did you? Yeah.
We hadn't seen each other for years.
Yeah.
For like 30 some odd years.
Same homeroom.
And he says, John, you're bald. And I said, Keith, you're fat. He said, you are too. Keith could take like one hand like this and go, I'd go right into the ground.
Really? Yeah.
But
I've
you
never
know.
met him.
Yeah, so you guys are both welcome to come on the Manchesterdam show tonight, and just we're hoping to have a little bit of like I said, it's going to be
A
bittersweet.
bacchanal?
What?
An orgy.
Well, an
We
orgy?
hear about me. I've heard about Manchesterdam, what goes on here, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's not
Nothing
secret.
really goes on.
What about that guy, what's his name, Minetti or Minelli that came out from under the table? I saw him.
I remember Minetti.
Now, we're going to get to the primary. And because one thing brought me up to think about the primary. You say Kevin James was a famous wrestler? that
Well,
was
no,
on the show?
no, he wasn't.
Was it a
famous
Mexican wrestler? You know, one of those
No, he was a
Mexican
WWE
wrestlers.
guy. He was a big. He has a beard.
Oh, so we're not dealing with the cult of Mexican wrestling,
The
which
Lucha Libre.
which is going to be like banned. Oh, that was what's his name's movie.
Jack
It's going to be
Black.
banned under the man who won the Republican primary. Who won the Republican primary now?
Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump.
You see your eyes. You couldn't handle that a bit. Were you out late last night?
No, I was trying to figure out what the thing is about.
He doesn't like Mexico.
Oh, yes.
Although he has
But
some
he-
of his very best friends are Mexican. Salma Hayek.
But he has been involved in wrestling before, though, so he does like the wrestling.
yeah.
Well, I know he had the Generals, the old U.S.
He did,
FL team. This is before you guys with like pots.
He did WrestleMania a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
He appeared at
Trump did
WrestleMania.
Mes-
Trump, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did he wrestle?
No.
I was just talking to my ex-wife. She says, "My God, his new wife looks like."
Well, I think
as
Trump's
young as
close
his
with
daughter.
Vince McMahon. That's why I think that.
He did take a Stone Cold Stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin once at WrestleMania. He really did.
See, he is an entertainer.
He is. He
But
is.
before we get into the primary, we're waiting for Vermin Supreme, which he disappeared yesterday. Peter,
Under his boot.
tell us about the great job you did on radio yesterday and the Monday and Tuesday covering the primary.
Well, I mean,
Or do we want to go back to tea? No.
No, we can get to that. But yeah, like I said, tune in tonight to Manchesterdam. It's going to be a great one as we say goodbye to the man, the myth, the legend, and most of all, our friend Don Tibbetts.
There's only one teacher I can remember that was as popular as Tibbetts. That was Joe Sullivan, who was this creative writing teacher over at West High. He was. They created the McAuliffe Award. The woman that
Oh, McAuliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have slight dyslexia, and so you can't trust anything.
Okay.
Or pronounce. It should be more likely pronounce. And I was great with French, when everything gets moved around.
Yeah.
But he won the first award for teacher, the state teacher.
Oh, okay.
Joe was great. He even taught Stinky. That's the only positive connection
Oh.
we have. Who was also over at the radio, but Tibbetts was just... The only person I know, he's the only person who knows more people, and more people love him than Bill Berry.
Hey, no, really,
He's just beloved. He's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be missed as far
Yeah.
as the TV show goes. It's like I said, he was a.
He's-
I was trying to
he's
explain this to you.
inimitable.
I was trying to explain this to
Inimitable.
you. Like I said, he was a gym teacher, but then since he, has been doing the show for the last couple of years, I've gotten close. He's a good friend of mine, and you get to know him past the what people think. The legend, the Tibbetts, and so like I said, it's gonna be tough to see him go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, jeez.
We're trying to, when I always go around, you give people talking points. I'm trying to give Matt talking points. You're supposed to say, cheers?
Well, let me tell you this.
Cheers.
I know.
It's all going to work out, Matt.
I know you guys.
Question mark there.
Oh, cheers? That would have worked better, right?
yes.
We'll get
Cheer, the gang's all here.
No, we'll get into that in a sec.
Ted Danson. That's the
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you. This happened a couple weeks ago, and
Well,
I don't
can
want. You want to hear the whole story about the
Well,
why,
first of all,
how we got on?
We will.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a piece of paper so you can write down your thoughts. 'Cause
I
first
don't
of
need
all,
to. I got them all right here.
we got to
we're
tell
going
you why
to-
Joel Elber's not here.
We're going to need a printed transcript of your
Yeah, I
thoughts.
probably
so.
won't do that.
We got 45 minutes with Peter White. Why Joel Elber couldn't make it today?
I don't know. Where is he?
Well, as they wind down, in the Radisson.
I haven't seen Joel since we got off the air yesterday.
Well,
Okay.
we went to the Morning Joe show. They're doing their wind down at the Radisson
Yeah.
over at the tavern and there. And Joel likes his Bloody Marys. So we found out the secret about Morning Joe.
Yeah?
How he gets guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can. You know how we sometimes have trouble getting guests.
Sure. Yeah.
You got? I never have trouble. I'm just kidding.
This is the morning, Peter.
Right.
And it's Morning Joe doing
Yeah.
our show. What do you think his secret is?
Pastry? I always see the pastry there.
Booze.
Glory holes.
Okay.
Well, I can honestly say I would not have guessed that. That's the secret, huh?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I
Me
tell you,
either.
the Moose and I, we were having our Bloody Marys.
Well, I don't know where this is going, but
I don't want to know.
I kind of don't either.
The Moose is like this.
I'm
though.
sort of
When you're the
curious, but
Moose,
not. Yes.
It's like being with Curly. Maybe I should wait till the Joe Kelly Lavassa show to tell it.
Are you
Isn't
on-
there a different?
Are you on the Joe Kelly Lavassa show tonight?
No.
Oh.
You haven't been on there in a while, have you?
Well, we had to go
jeez.
take a leak. Do you know what a leak is? You're from Concord.
Okay.
Different things.
You and Joel did?
Oh yeah, we went into.
Finish your story.
is that him calling?
Finish
Somebody's
your
calling.
story about Joel.
Peter, you're a good Catholic boy, but you say, oh, here we go, a call.
This could be Joel.
Oh, jeez. I hope so.
Caller, you're next on Manchesterdam. You have who are we talking to?
You're talking to the Moose.
Moose. Are you watching the show?
And I hate Bloody Marys.
Oh. How do you feel about glory holes?
Turn him up a little bit.
How do we turn him up? Oh, Matt,
yeah,
you're
I
probably
got
not.
it, yeah.
We have a good Catholic boy here, Peter White, who's blushing furiously as I told them about Morning Joe and his secret to getting. Look at him! Look at him, he's blushing.
I
And
just
you-
have good skin tone. That's
You
all.
have and you have the raunchiest show on TV.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, we go into we're taking a leak, and suddenly one of the NBC.
MSNBC.
They come in.
Hey,
and
Matt.
oh yeah.
Matt needs a haircut. Matt, you have to get a haircut.
I need to get
That's
a
the
haircut
first
too.
one.
I am looking a bit shaggy, but it's winter. It helps keep my neck warm.
So we walk.
I can't wear a scarf.
Hi, Peter White.
Are we
Hey,
going to get to this story
Hi, Joel.
or not?
Hey, Peter, you're talking about the Manchesterdam show tonight and about Tibbetts. You know what?
He sounds
Good-
groggy from the
Good
morphine.
riddance
He does.
for Tibbetts. Let him go. He did nothing for the show.
Yeah, did I?
He's
You
groggy from morphine.
you should fire him.
folks. He's at
All
CMC.
right. I gotta
groggy
run.
from
I gotta get a
morphine.
Valentine's for Shirley. Goodbye.
What the heck?
Oh, you know what you should have done is had Donald Trump come on the show tonight, and he could fire
Oh,
Tibbetts.
jeez.
That would have been
You're
great.
fired.
Yeah, that would have been great.
If we would have run into Donald Trump on a Radio Row at the primary, I had a whole thing. I had a whole "you're fired" thing to
Did you? Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow, but
You don't want to hear what happened to Joel?
Yeah, well, it looks like he's upset.
Or are you the blushing type? The blushing.
I don't care.
Nice Irish Catholic. Well, I'll just if you have me on your show, I'll tell the story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please, yeah.
About the Morning Joe and the Glory Holes.
Okay.
Peter, we'll take it over.
I know nothing about that.
It sounds like
That's
an old
right. It was
Motown group or something. Morning Joe and the Glory Holes.
Yeah,
Morning Joe is a
some punk band.
expletive
Yeah.
deleted, folks. But it is unique, and maybe we can talk about it another time with somebody that. Are you Catholic, by the way?
I was raised Catholic, yes.
But you don't seem as uptight.
No, well, I've
The
essentially
word glory hole didn't make you blush.
He
No,
had a.
You're
Matt-
a libertarian.
sort of, yes.
And you, Democrat? Are you a Democrat?
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I registered Democrat? Yeah.
Well,
So am I, actually.
that explains everything. Let's go back to Manchesterdam.
Oh no, that was like I said. T will be on tonight. Watch the show. But I think you were going on the primary thing, right? Right? Do you want to find out about how we get to Radio Row? Is that what you want? You're all over the place.
Yes. Because it was. How was you? Didn't you have an exhausting 2 days?
It was.
I certainly did.
I'll tell you what. It was exhausting. It was the time of my life. It was fun. It really, it was great.
How did you get this gig? Tell Manchesterdam. I mean, tell Ward 13. I have frostbite.
You can call this Ward 13, Manchesterdam edition.
Manchesterdam
There you go.
edition of
I like
Ward
that.
13.
Um,
Tell us what happened. Yes, what was so special the last?
I'll tell you how it all
I have a
happened.
co-host here for Matt. Come on, jump in.
I just sometimes it's just fun to watch you sort of flail. Do you need a pen so you can write while you speak?
I don't need to.
Okay.
I certainly do.
I don't need
Let's
to.
see what we have. Macho Libre, or is it Nacho Libre?
Lucha Libre.
Lucho Libre. Maybe
Yes.
we can redo the show on Matt Connarton.
Yes.
Yeah, we can take two.
Yeah. We'll just start over.
So, how
I
it
had
all?
about 6 hours of sleep in the
Really?
last 3 days.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains quite a bit then.
Let's start. So,
gonna tell you-
our guest today is Peter White.
Thanks
in
for having me,
Amsterdam.
guys. Thanks
Peter.
for having me.
Thank you for being here.
I was up on Radio Row at the Radisson
Yeah. and-
before I found out the secret of Morning Joe.
Yes, yes.
And I got to say, up there, you and Joel had a radio show, and you were broadcasting live from Manchester Public Radio.
yeah, WMNH 95.3.
You were broadcasting the primary live.
It was.
I had the privilege of spending about an hour with you.
I'll tell you, it was fun. That's one thing it was, but it is a lot of work. I'm a little hoarse today from talking for 5 hours straight for 2 days. But it started out. I want to say about a month or two ago. I think I asked someone here at Manchester Public Television. I said, "Do you have anyone going to Radio Row?" And I knew the radio station was just kind of up and running. They play some music at night. Non-profits in the day. They each have they can have a show. So I said, "Hey, wow, that'd be great." Because 4 years ago, me and Joel went down to the primary 4 years ago, and we watched Radio Row. And I said, "Wow, wouldn't that be something if we
Yeah.
could do that?"
Is he explain what Radio Row is?
No, actually.
Guys, Matt, I'm going to let you take over 5 minutes. They taught me at the VA when things like this happen. Go out, deep breathing,
Right.
some water.
Oh, you're fine.
And when I come back, I'll be okay.
All right.
Radio
Go
I
get some
just-
water. Go get some water.
Radio Row.
I'm a victim of the New Hampshire primary.
Yes. What is Radio Row, Peter
Not even
White?
one beer yet.
No, Radio Row. For those of you that don't know, is it's a giant room with different media from around the world, actually.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone has their little place, and you have a desk, and we were with Talk Media News, so they set up a lot of interviews, and they had guests coming in and stuff like that.
Oh, so they did that for you, so you didn't have to.
They did it for us. Well, the first day we did it, we were getting our own guests.
Yeah.
But at first they were like, well, we're supposed to get the guests for you guys and for everybody, but we were bringing in great guests.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the Tuesday when we were done, they said thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. But I'll tell you how it all started. So me and Joel thought about it 4 years ago. So with the radio station kind of up and running here, and it's great. I mean, it's 95.3 WMNH. So I asked the people here at Manchester Public Television, let's get down there and let's have some fun, and we'll promote Manchester, and we'll talk to everybody coming in town. And they looked, wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we actually asked to do it. We didn't get paid for it. We didn't, we asked to do it, and I'll tell you, it was an experience.
Yeah.
It really was. It was first day, because I didn't know what to expect.
Was it 2 days?
Yeah, it was 2
Okay.
days. We did it from about noon to 4:30, 5 o'clock each day.
Okay.
Peter, I think we have a call on hold, or do we? John, do we have a caller?
If you did, I would have put it up on the screen.
Why did it say call on hold out there?
All right, don't worry. Jeez, you've come to a screeching halt once again.
Everybody's gonna think or something, but nowhere.
No.
Just fatigue.
Yeah. I understand.
Jeez.
Well, Peter has explained what Radio Row. Oh, so you were there for 2 days.
We were there for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, from 12 to, like I said, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we must have had, we had guest after guest after guest, and I mean, it was amazing. I think, I can't remember them all. I'm going to tell you some of my favorite guests. State Senator Lou D'Alessandro.
Mm-hmm.
Great conversation with him. He was supporting Hillary Clinton, and he did announce actually on the radio show that he's going to run for office again here in New Hampshire for the New Hampshire State Senate. Yeah, he's
I'm
gonna.
not surprised.
And that's the first time. Nobody was sure that he was going to run.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I mean, I
So
asked
he
him.
definitely told you he was going to run.
Yeah, he said it on the air. I mean, he said it on the air, and so that was great. Doug VB, I think it's Gowdy or Goody. He used to be with Howie Carr, the Howie Carr Show, and then he went to Fox 25 Morning News.
Yeah.
And
He's still on Howie Carr sometimes. too.
yes, because
Yeah.
he's not with Fox 25 Morning News now. He was up
Oh, I
there.
didn't know that. Okay.
He sat down with us. Great. He's a great broadcaster.
Yeah, I like
I'll tell
him.
you that. His
Yeah.
politics a little twisted, but we didn't talk about that. I just kind of, I wanted to talk about him and his career, and he was great. He was a great guest. Former ambassador to Belize.
Ambassador George.
Yes,
I can't remember. his
George
name.
Bruno.
George
Okay.
Bruno.
Great guy.
He's going to be on my.
What a
show
resume!
next week.
What a resume that guy
I hope he's
has.
not watching today.
Right.
That guy has quite the resume. Oh, geez, who else? Well, we had Vermin on, Vermin
Yeah.
Supreme.
Yeah.
They let Vermin Supreme in.
They weren't going to, and then I had to go out and get him, and I just brought him in.
Good. Good for
I was
you.
actually just out there looking to see if he was going to come.
Yeah.
He disappeared yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he try to get in yesterday?
No, I didn't see him at all yesterday. I was at the Radisson all day. He wasn't around. There was supporters were around, but he wasn't around.
How hard was it to transit? Have you ever done? Have you done radio before?
It's funny. I've always had a love for radio. I think it's like I almost think it's better than television because it's theater of the mind. Like I'm going to give you an example. When I was a kid, there was a Rock 101 DJ, and that's when Rock 101 had the slogan, "The best damn rock."
Mm-hmm.
And they so they were broadcasting up at Derryfield Park here in Manchester. And the DJ's name was Tommy C. And he had a voice like, this is Tommy C. Here's a block of Aerosmith or whatever. So, you picture the guy in your mind. You're like, that Tommy C. is probably the coolest guy ever, right? So as a kid, you're like, let's go see the live broadcast. Maybe they'll get us a T-shirt or a Frisbee or something like that.
Yeah.
Tommy C. looked like nothing I would ever expect.
Right.
I'm like, that's not Tommy C. And so that was cool, but for radio, I think it goes theater of the mind. When you're listening to a broadcast and not actually watching it, you make your own things up in your head. You know what I
Have you
mean?
ever seen one of my favorite movies is American Graffiti.
Yes.
And when they all think that Wolfman Jack's
Oh, yeah.
this black guy, this
Right,
black
right.
dude,
Yeah.
and he's trying to find him, Richard Dreyfuss, to get advice, and it's just this dumpy white guy.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
And then after he leaves, after giving him some advice, then he turns around and looks at the thing, and he's Wolfman Jack again. Yeah.
No, it's really cool. So I used to do this.
My favorite was Gene Shepard. Gene Shepard, we used to hear him Night, WOR in New York. Christmas Story.
Yeah.
He was, Jerry Seinfeld named his daughter Shepard. He was just this cult. He was probably the first great radio raconteur.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
would just, all those stories, like
familiar
the
with
ones
him.
that became part of A Christmas Story, they were these great radio broadcasts.
Yeah.
His childhood and stuff in Hammond, Indiana. And then he would write them, and then it became the movie.
Oh.
But we could hear him from New York at night. Cause you
Oh,
know,
no kidding.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I used to sit in my room when I was a kid. I would have, I had a record player and a tape player and all that, and a microphone, and I literally had my own show. It didn't go anywhere except my room.
Right. I did that too.
But
yeah.
a nice. You get yourself a nice Maxell XL2 90-minute tape.
Yeah.
Take a pencil wait for the leader on the cassette.
Yeah. I used to do that too. Yeah.
So I did that for years and years. I probably did that. From like 8, 9 years old till I was still doing it in high school.
Yeah.
Because it was fun.
And at Central High, you had Kathy Sullivan. See, being from you had
No, it was Miss
you had a
Sul-
great media program over at Central High, didn't you?
No.
Kathy Sullivan's sister.
No, I didn't have a media program.
Right.
This is what happened.
Who was your teacher over there? Okay.
Miss Sullivan, and
Sullivan.
it's Grace Sullivan. She was actually the creator of we wouldn't have all this here today.
I was going to say,
Really?
that's a name I used to hear quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have all this here today. She was amazing. She was an amazing teacher. It was the first time that at Central High School that a video productions class was available. So they had video productions 1 and video productions 2. I took it both. I didn't do real great. I was a pretty average student in most other classes, But I had a passion for this. So I took her photography class, her video productions class. I was in her class like almost, half the day.
And did you love it?
I did. I loved it. It was great. We did a commercial, one of the first Manchester. Back then, it was United Cable. Before all the big companies, we had a local cable company here called United Cable. Yes.
I was gone from 78 to like 20.
So what happened there is United Cable, say say the early 80s when cable really was big, and if you had cable, you put on channel 25 here in Manchester, it'd be MTV. When MTV was MTV.
It was MTV, yeah.
So they would have commercials, but United Cable would put in local commercials. They did some local ads and stuff. And our video productions class was one of those commercials that would go on. It just aired locally. And it was a high school project, and we did a thing. It was me, Rick Dabrowski, Angelo Caragianis, and Brian Carty. We were in the video, and we were playing cards, and it was Teens Against Drugs.
Yeah.
And basically, someone pulls out a marijuana cigarette and says, "Hey guys, you want to smoke this?" And I said, "No way." I remember my lines. I said, "No way. Put that away." And my friend Angelo says, "Hey, that's not cool, man." and
Peter, that was typecasting.
Yeah.
no, it was.
and folks, we got to finally admit, we were redoing this just for the new Manchesterdam episode, but I don't think that was their cigarette.
Oh, jeez. So
But you fell in love with making videos. Your first love was radio.
yeah, but
Then you had this great program.
oh my God, if I got my
Did
hands
that
on
bring
a
you here into
no, I could.
race and that?
No, actually, I had seen her over the years. We had,
How did you come to this, Manchesterdam?
Well, we'll talk. We can get there. Let's try to stay on track. But
If you write things down, it'll help you stay on track, Peter.
no,
Maybe if I
you
shut-
can't sit there.
Maybe
You
if I
can't sit
shut
there
up,
after me.
maybe we keep. Here, give me the piece of paper, John. Okay.
Oh, jeez. So
You got some fiber
what
that way.
I'm saying, as far as the radio,
The
so
only fiber I had the last 2 days.
I went to when I was finishing up high school. It was a last semester of my senior year, video productions 2 class. I'm looking at schools. Like I said, I wasn't the greatest student, so she helped me set me up at Northern Essex Community College for broadcast journalism to start out
great.
my career in broadcast journalism. So I went there for a little while, but the thing is, I got kind of sidetracked because I got a good job at,
UPS.
yes, I got a good job at UPS. I started making money, and then realized, hey, I'm gonna do this, and so I did that till I was 33
So you
years
got
old.
sidetracked from your love, which is media,
Right, just the radio. I mean, really, just the radio. So,
and that happens to a lot of people.
but Miss Sullivan was setting me up there and helping me, fill out everything, and like I said, she was a great inspiration, great teacher.
This might be. Didn't Miss Sullivan have a sister-in-law? Was it
Yes.
Keith or something? So I remember her coming up to me, and I had been on your show, and she talked about you. She was very fond of you.
Who?
Heath, some woman named Heath.
Oh, Miss Heath, and Joanne Heath.
Yeah, and she's Grace Sullivan's sister-in-law, right?
I
Yeah.
Some.
Because Mary Heath is their third sister.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I
so
don't.
she's
I don't
married
know.
to her.
I don't know the.
But
the,
Peter was very loved by his teacher.
Hey,
Okay.
another. Since we're talking
It's
about
true.
since we're talking about teachers, and I've said it before on TV, is my fifth grade teacher at Chandler School, wonderful. I was hard to deal with. I was a talker.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I was a,
You're kidding.
Oh my God! My mouth got me into trouble when I was in grade school, just because I
were
do
you
anything
choir
for a
boy?
laugh. No, I went to
You were the class
CCD.
clown?
I wasn't. I mean, I guess you could say, if you want to put it that way, a class clown. But there were a few of us. I would just do anything for the laugh. You know what I mean? Whether it got me in trouble or not. If I made that group of kids, my class, laugh, I would take the hit. I'd get my desk put out in the hallway for the afternoon.
When they still were allowed to do that.
Oh yeah.
But what's funny is, don't take this the wrong way.
I won't.
But your strength, I think that Manchesterdam was better. You know, we were talking about that when you became like the controlling force in the show, and then you became like a straight man to Joel. But you see, there's a famous story where Dan Rowan was mad at Groucho Marx because Groucho Marx came out and said, "You're a great straight man," and Dick Cavett brought them on.
I
And
love
the old Dick Cavett shows.
Yeah.
And Dick Cavett told him that Dan Rowan was offended when he said that. And so Groucho says, "I didn't mean that, as an insult. I'm just saying, a straight man is one of the I couldn't have been funny without Chico, you know."
Right,
And
right.
you and if you remember Roland Martin was the Joel thing.
Yeah.
And then Dan Rowan said, "It wasn't so much you offended me; it was Groucho Marx was just speaking to me, the great Groucho Marx." But you can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you became ironically, you're like this great straight man. How you control the show.
Right.
Between Tibbetts and Joel. Oh, and Scumpy, when I was here in the studio with Vermin Supreme. You think it was wild with us?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But you kept
tell
everything
you.
perfectly together.
I'll tell you what, it's all about
art.
it's all about having fun, but controlling the chaos.
Right.
I mean, it really is.
And with Vermin.
I want to tell
Yeah.
you, you mentioned the thing with and I think we've talked about this before. I know you and I have talked about it because you've been around for a while too.
Yeah.
We started the show
In 2010.
April of 2010. We were at MCAM down on the river.
Right.
Me, Ryan Gorman, and John Manning, and Joel. Joel was on those shows.
Joel, Matt, were you responsible? Did you do some radio for Matt? 'Cause
Well,
Matt has IPM Nation.
Well, that comes
Right.
next. That kind of comes. That's how we met. We met at MCAM.
Yeah.
Oh, you met at MCAM.
Yeah. Norm
Thank you
introduced
for-
us actually.
Yeah, Norm was our first guest.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah.
But okay, so Ryan, I've been on more episodes of Manchesterdam than anybody because I've been around the longest.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
But I'll tell you what, I wasn't, and this is if anyone ever had any trivia about it, I wasn't on the first episode of Manchesterdam.
Really?
No, come on.
No, it was Ryan Gorman and a girl named Kat Morris.
Huh.
We had done
Missed opportunities.
No,
What happened to
we
Kat?
had. I'll tell you, we had a. We started that show on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
We did it for about. We started in 2009. We continued to do the Blog Talk Radio show while the TV show was going. The TV show wasn't live. It was recorded like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it would air at 11 o'clock at night. Then they merged the two stations together. MCAM closed. Some of us came over here. Tom Ford Show, Stir It Up, you and Norm, a few others, a handful of others.
Yeah.
Glenn Ouellette.
Yeah, there's a handful of others. Which when I walked out of there, I'm like, they're not going to let us go over there. This was the
Really,
night.
you didn't think so?
I just didn't think so.
Oh, you weren't guaranteed a slot.
We walked out.
Was Miss Grace Sullivan in control?
No, she was in control here. She was in control here, not MCAM though.
That's weird.
There was two different. There was two different television entities in Manchester. Channel 23, which we're on now, was MCAM. Channel 16 and 22 was the Education Channel and the Government Channel.
And which one you were on? Educational?
No, 23. We're at MCAM.
Oh, you were on MCAM.
Yeah, all of us were.
And Grace handled the other two.
Yes. So I don't know, whatever happened, we had nothing to do with the stations. I didn't get involved in any of that. But we
you
were asked.
became a TV personality.
We were asked to come here, and all of a sudden it was a live show, and I think I missed the first or second one. I had an appendectomy.
Oh, geez.
So, and
that
it
was
was
the only thing that would keep you away.
And yeah, but I mean, Ryan and John did it one night.
Yeah.
But then I came. It was live. It was a call, and it was at 11 o'clock, so we could get away with a little bit more than you could at like 9 or 10 o'clock. The show was wild. I mean, it really
I've
was.
seen the tape.
The show was
Oh,
absolutely wild.
Now, how did T come in to be part of it?
Oh, man.
And tell us when T. Had T ever been on the episodes with Ryan?
No.
Because for a while it was just you and Joel, right?
There was a summer that it was just me and Joel.
Yeah.
A whole year.
That's when I met you.
But
That's
see,
when I
Ryan,
started watching the show.
Ryan was, he was taking care of his family, and he had gotten a new job, so it was hard for him to get here at 11 o'clock or whatever. So he was kind of, I wish we could have had the like tonight we're doing a great send-off of Tibbetts. I wish we could have done that with Ryan. But Ryan kind of slowly phased himself out.
Yeah.
He was on, he wasn't on. It was just me and Joel.
And then Dawn. And there was that summer when I first met you guys, when I was first on the show. And I thought it was great. And there were the parties saying, oh, Ryan, But then, so that's when there was Dawn on the show in the summer?
No, we had him on. Listen, we tried to get him on the show so many times, even when Ryan was still on the show.
Really?
And it just wasn't working out because we used to take weeks off.
Yeah.
We used to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we used to have. Let's not do it tonight. We'll do it next week. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so with Tibbetts, we invited him up. He came up here a couple times to be on as a guest.
I was on once with him in the summer, I think.
And we weren't here though.
Yeah.
We weren't here. His first time on the show was, I'm going to say, December 2013, as a guest.
It was 2013. I remember being on with him that time.
We had so much fun. Called him up and said, "Hey, we want you to be part of the show. It's great." And he
was surreal the time I was on with him.
And
Really?
you mentioned,
He had yet to learn, I guess, how to.
Not swear.
But the thing is, you mentioned earlier that when you took the show and you were at the helm of the show, because it was, Ryan was the leader of that.
Yeah.
He was we started it together, but he was the captain of the ship. And you said, oh wow, I think I like it a little better after he left because Ryan was kind of, some people think,
They were partisans.
But what happens is, and I think we've said this before when in an interview with you, that when any kind of ensemble cast, if you take someone out and someone's not there, the show changes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have people like, oh, I like their early stuff.
Right.
Just like anything.
Oh, of course.
So,
yeah.
people like, oh, I used to watch, where's Ryan? So, I get that. I get that because when someone goes, it ruins the dynamics of that ensemble cast. You bring someone new in. Joel used to do the news. They said, hey, come on over here.
Is that Vermin Supreme calling you?
Oh, it's your phone.
Oh, jeez.
So
It's the hotline.
It's the Donald.
Oh, my.
Let's get. I am going to turn off my phone.
That'd be great.
Talk with you, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We have Peter White.
That's right.
So like I said, I understand when someone says, oh, I like the show better when Ryan was on.
Yeah.
Or, the show's not funny anymore.
I
or
remember
whatever.
offending you once, though, because I said you were like Dean Martin to Jerry Lewis. And you were, maybe it's because we were at the Pine or something.
I try, what?
But see, Dean Martin was as great as Jerry Lewis, and when you took them apart, they were still both great superstars. They just
But Dean
became
Martin was
something different.
Was the straight
so
man in
cool.
that equation.
He was like
yeah.
the king of cool in the 60s.
I think, and I always tell
So
Joel.
I was complimenting him, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess you hadn't gotten used to the shift where you are, because with Ryan watching the old shows, it's like real anarchy, and it could get really loony.
He's
some
an
of the-
intense
and some of the
personality.
things he came up with.
Well, I always liked the contrast between Ryan and his intensity, and you were you were the more laid back one, and I thought the dynamic was really good.
Yeah, no, it was. Great time doing that.
But I think you and Moose.
Yeah,
you
I
and
like-
Moose. And on
that
radio,
dynamic is great,
on
too, yeah.
radio, because I was there and I did an hour with you guys, and it was great. And the thing is, you got into TV, but your first love is radio. So what was it like being a radio with all those people?
Oh.
There was Senator Pryor was on.
Both Pryors were on.
Both of them,
The
yeah.
Sun,
The Sun
and yes, and they were great. nice accent, and I remember telling
From Arkansas.
Okay.
yeah. So it's
They're
funny.
they're both brothers. They're half father and son, and half brothers. You know, one of those Arkansas.
No, that's not true.
Close families.
But what's funny, and I think I kind of got it. You know, I tried to
Has
ask.
to do with who's ma.
Right.
Okay.
I tried to ask questions that maybe no one else was going to ask. So I said, "Wow." So these guys have been involved. They were Hillary Clinton's surrogates. So Hillary's campaign would send.
She sent some good surrogates.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so.
Senator D'Alessandro.
No, but speaking of the
US
Ryans, I said, "Wow, that's pretty amazing," because when being around the Clintons so much, obviously everyone knows that he was the governor of Arkansas and stuff, but that's their local boy. So it's like it would be like we think of him as like President Clinton. I was asking him questions like, "Wow, it must have been great because to just watch the rise of this local guy." That then he runs for president and happens and
that's why Mary Steenburgen, we saw Ted Danson.
Oh, man.
And Mary Steenburgen is Arkansas. She knew Bill, for years.
Yeah,
and it's so ironic. Didn't we were on a show. Were we on a show where we were talking about her Melvin and Howard when I was on?
Oh, yes.
We had the guy who created Texas. No, that was after the guy who created Texas Hold'em poker.
Oh, that was
Made a
great.
fortune. We had a
Steve Lanscombe.
We said being on the radio with Moose, they asked me to, because you guys were getting a little, Moose, I guess, was getting a little tired, so I was asked to be the third chair to come in, and then everything got revived. We had the guy who created Texas Hold'em. Texas Hold'em poker, we found out, was a game played in a little river casino in Sacramento, and this guy made it into what it is today.
Yeah.
Of course, Moose loved it, and then we had the metaphor of poker and politics. But he had a card. He has an organization because he's for finance reform, campaign finance reform. Moose gets the card and he says, "What was it? Changing Democrats, one vote at a time." And I'm ready to fall out of my chair. Moose, can you read that again? Oh. Changing democracy one vote at a time. And here's this guy, he must be like a gadzillionaire.
Yeah.
But everybody loved the Moose, didn't they?
I'll tell you, he used to do the funniest.
The New Yorker, tell them about that guy.
Oh, yeah, well, he goes, I don't know who we were talking to.
Some guy's running for...
Joel asked where he was from.
Yeah,
and the guy goes, New York City. And Joel goes, "Oh, I love that state."
And he agreed, remember? 'Cause
Yes.
we should be a state.
Yeah.
It was something. But speaking of the relationship with Joel, like Ryan left the TV show, and Joel used to do the funniest news broadcast this city has ever seen.
I used to love that.
We tried to reproduce it here.
You can
best newsman on television.
You can go to Vimeo and watch the old Manchesterdams with me, Ryan, John Manning, and Joel doing the news. Absolutely best newscast the city's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious. So then when Ryan left the show, Joel moved over to the seat.
But the chemistry between you two, and on radio, it was great. I was watching.
I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. I mean, I would if for some reason he couldn't be by my side doing that, I would really miss him.
Yeah, you were. People were complimenting.
I mean,
they were great.
The
guests loved you guys.
Oh, that's nice that you say that because I don't think of that all the time. I'm pretty humbled by everything.
No, but I was watching. I was there, and because I was helping bird dog people.
Yeah.
To go, because they'd have guests, and then you're at the Radisson, so it's like Ted Danson, because Ted Danson.
We saw Ted Danson on Monday night as he checked into the hotel, the Radisson, and everybody went around him. Oh, it's Ted Danson. The nicest guy you could ever meet.
Really?
Took
Yeah.
a picture with everybody. I mean, who wants to
He
sit
wasn't so
there?
nice to me.
Oh, he wasn't?
When I was
No?
trying to use Bill Berry's daughter's smartphone to take a picture, I hadn't. I was looking. There's a whole story to that, but this is Peter's show. We don't have time. I was trying to do it, and he said to me, "Is that like the first time you've used a smartphone?" And I said, "Hey, I'm a writer," and then he understood,
Well, yeah.
Because in Hollywood, a writer is.
Well, who wants to deal with paparazzi?
But he was so gracious, right?
Yeah,
To everybody.
who wants to really sit there and
Steve
deal
Berry.
with the paparazzi while you're checking into a
Well, we
hotel?
get
Right,
brought
right.
up Melvin and Howard, the movie, because it had to do with Howard Hughes and stuff.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we walked out, and there's Mary Steenburgen, a friend of Bill from before, he was
really?
governor.
Yeah.
That's why they're so close.
Oh, okay.
And she'd won the Oscar for that. We just talked about it.
He was great.
Yeah,
He
Ted
was,
Danson, they were really cool people.
And then later on in the night, I got another picture of another famous
did?
person. I had went outside for a second to get some fresh air, and he came in real stealth, and then he started checking in at the
Adam Sandler?
No, he was checking in at the I'll tell you in a second. He's checking in. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm going to go get him. So I'm standing in back of him. The lady that works at the hotel, oh, can I help you, sir? I said, no, I'm just trying to get a quick pic with my friend George here, George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, no
from Good
kidding.
Morning
Yeah.
America.
He must have come up to like your belt line.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. He was signing his
It
thing.
seems like he would
just
be.
He just turned around and looked, smiled, and then he left. I said, "Thank you, George," and I left him alone.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It was something else.
There are these people. I was standing yesterday. I was trying to bird dog Hillary Clinton to get her to come on the show. Remember? She
Really?
had come to the building to be because MSNBC outside of JD Tavern had its own studio,
Yeah.
the Armory, and I've been in there with Lou D'Alessandro.
We spent a lot of time at JD's.
So I'm waiting, and there are these people that just bird dog. They just go after celebrities, and this guy has all these photographs. He wants to get them signed because he can sell them on eBay or something.
Exactly, yeah.
And this is the thing: bird dog people. They'd say, Joel Elber would say, "Go for so and so." And say, was he on TV? I can tell writers like go find Mike Barnacle.
Hey.
I say, where is he? He says, go to the bars, and sure
Yeah.
enough, you find Mike,
Yeah.
and he's a great guy.
Who was that other guy that was there? The author of the book about the presidents, that
He was
lesser-known
supposed to be
presidents.
on our show.
Oh, yeah, what happened
We're
to
going to
him?
have him on in 2 weeks after South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
He's going to have to Skype.
Oh,
Craig
okay.
Yeah, former.
Frank
He was an
Thomas
editor. He was a editor at
TV
TV Guide, and he also was part of VH1's Behind the Music.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
But see, this guy's got all these photos, and these two talking heads go by. When I'm looking, I don't know anybody in TV. It's like Bill Barry's there. Like, oh, that's Mika. I said, Mika?
Mika Brzezinski.
Yeah, then I realized who it is.
Yeah.
And I don't watch TV. So you could get me to find writers and politicians. And
Well, you knew who Mayday Malone was.
of course. All I wanted to say, Diane, or I can't even remember the other one. I'm a big Diane fan. Does that surprise you?
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting there, to try the off chance, because Hillary took a liking to me on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah?
We can talk about, if you want us on your show.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We can finally talk about the primary. But so I'm waiting, and this guy's got all these photos, and these two talking heads come out of the MSNBC studio, and I said, "Who was?" And he goes by, "Can I get you to sign these?" And the gal says, "When we come back." And the guy, this old white-haired guy, turns around and says, "I already signed one." And I said, "Who was that? Who is that? Are they on TV?" He said, "That's Tom Brokaw." I said,
Oh, wow.
I remember him from when I watched TV,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
not quite the same. That's how long ago I stopped watching TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we talked about mesmerization and that.
Yes.
It's. I think the results of our primary prove the thesis of Aldous Huxley.
Yeah.
That TV would mesmerize people.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say, the people that were on the show, because I was up there trying to help out a little, and the first day Joel got a little tired. And then I came up again. Joe says, well, in case, they need somebody. And I was helping Joe just find people.
You did a great job.
Because
by
of,
the way.
well, I'm not afraid to go and, hate congressmen or anything.
Right.
But, geez, the second day, you guys, I think you were even better than the first day. And people like the guests,
I'm gonna
I
tell
would
you.
be there and I'd talk to them. They loved being on the show. Peter, has such a positive attitude. You're so New Hampshire-centric. And then the people, you try to tell, well, the first day I'd say a few things about the moose to warn the people. Then you say, don't even bother.
Right. It's probably better not to, yeah.
Because they react, they love the moose.
Yeah.
Moose
Oh,
is
yeah.
Moose is.
It was superb. You did a great job.
I'm going to tell you, and another part of that day, my favorite thing was we had a few aldermen over the 2 days. We had Alderman at Large Joe Kelly Lavasser, Alderman Ward 12 Keith Hirschman. I think on Tuesday we started the broadcast day with Alderman from Ward 6 Nick Pappas.
Yeah, Nick. Not related to Chris Pappas.
No,
If
and
you
then-
ever want to run for office, change your last name to Pappas. You'll win anything.
And then later on on Tuesday,
Secrets of Manchester.
later on Tuesday, we had Alderman from Ward 10 Bill Barry and Alderman at Large Dan O'Neill.
That's the great O'Neill.
I mean, it was
Danny
so
O'Neill.
fun. It was so fun. They're all
Have
of
you
them.
met Danny before?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like a. He's unique. He's just. Have you never met
I don't
Danny
think I've
O'Neill?
met him, no.
He's like a big teddy bear. You just like this guy.
Yeah.
He's just so magnetic. When we were at the ward, Hillary started her day at Ward 10, and at the end of everything was big Danny, and Hillary's only like 5'4".
Yeah.
And she just looks at him, and it's
Yeah.
great.
Huh.
We got about 3 minutes. Why don't Peter take the camera and tell the folks about tonight?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
We got all 3 minutes because we don't have any exit.
Okay, so really, if you watch a show, or if you haven't ever watched the show, watch it tonight. You're gonna have a good time. We're celebrating Don T. Tibbetts, the phys ed teacher, for years and years over at Manchester Central High School. Been on our show for a couple of years. He's going to leave the show, take some time off, and we're going to send him off. We're celebrating him as a person. I mean, he's something else. There's nobody like him. Show, again, the formula is changing again. It's going to be,
What's going to happen? Do you know?
Yeah, what is going to happen?
Is it just going to be you and Joel for a while?
We're not filling in the third seat. I'll tell you that much. We're not. We're going to have.
kidding.
We're
You're
going
a chair. We found out.
We're gonna have some guest hosts the week after. I'm gonna tell you the rest of the month we have Abigail White sitting in guest
cool.
hosting.
Your daughter.
Yeah, she'll be here the 17th, which is her birthday.
Excellent.
The week after that, a friend of the show, Michael Martineau, will be here.
Oh, okay.
So after that, not sure.
Yeah.
And are there any special guests tonight, other than Adam Sandler?
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Adam Sandler. I don't think Adam Sandler's coming, but
You
there will be.
invited me here. Is either Rich Gerard or Mayor Gatz is going to be here? You don't want any dust up.
You know what, Rich Gerard and Mayor Gatz,
be
yes,
good
they
TV.
can come on down if they want.
We'll
We'd love
lock
to have them.
Richie in the men's room at a warning sign, and then we'll get to he would appreciate that glory hole story.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my
Peter,
goodness.
I never thought of you as a prude.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
See,
no.
Joel worked this thing out. Obviously Joel had already.
Well, good thing you guys.
He'd forgotten the entire story.
It's a
Right.
good thing you guys don't write too much together.
Yeah.
We were working this out. I was waiting to pick you up, but then Joel even forgot.
That's funny.
Okay, Peter, it was great to have you.
Thank you
Yes,
so much,
Thank you,
man.
Matt, for coming in. We didn't really get to the primary, but
Well, you guys are welcome to stick around.
Yeah,
You're
we'll
both
just
welcome.
take it over to-
we'll switch chairs.
Yeah.
Take it over to the 2
And,
o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds
We'll
good.
see you next week.
We're gonna be right back.
Ambassador George is going to be our guest talking about immigration.